We are here with a friend of mine. I've known for a long time since first started putting out, like, signed to a label, putting out records and all that, singles,
yes,
and all of that. Cassie, early days.
Yes, early days.
His name is Ryan Leslie. Give it up for him, people.
Yeah.
So, have you found this goddamn laptop? Because that was like the big headline. the last time I was like, Ryan Leslie was in the news.
Yeah, it turned up.
It did?
Yeah, it turned up.
Did you have to pay the $1 million?
No.
What'd you pay?
I paid a lot of legal fees. That's what I paid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it came up in that kind of way.
Yeah, it came up in that kind of way. I mean, my whole last album was basically, it started. There's a documentary online, since people really want to know what's up. There's a documentary online around the making of my last album, and it starts the day I leave the courtroom because they sued me for $1 million. And
because they turned in the laptop because you said you would give $1 million.
Yep.
And then you were like, nah, fuck that. I ain't paying $1 million.
Yep.
And
but why did you decide to say, F that, I'm not paying? Did you decide that they had stolen it?
No, I just decided that the $1 million was really for intellectual property. So if they give me a laptop that doesn't have any data on it, then...
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I could just buy another laptop.
Oh, it was empty?
Yeah.
Why would you give a damn about the empty laptop?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it all came down to the fact that, the semantics of the reward. We give you a laptop back. We need this.
So,
we need this bread.
A couple of questions.
Yeah.
Did you end up having to pay anything outside of legal fees to these people who gave you a laptop?
I can't really talk about it because it's still in legal proceedings.
And part two.
Yeah.
How are you sitting on $1 million? Are you got that much publishing that you would write a check to somebody? Like, because when you said it, I was like, well, fuck that. He ain't got $1 million.
Yeah. Well, let's just do simple math, right?
I love simple math. It's the only math I'm good at.
By the way, time out before you do your math, just so everyone knows, he went to Harvard. So whatever math you're doing might be simple to you. To me,
could be harder.
Right. Yeah. Well, you just have to think. Let's just do simple math on publishing. So I own 100% of the publishing on Cassie's first album. It sold 650,000 albums. I wrote and produced every single song. Plus the single itself was played over 600,000 times. Just do the.
I'm already lost.
I don't. You mean me and you?
Yeah, me and you. Over 600,000 spins.
And on each one of those plays, you receive how much money?
You receive about $4. So that's just on the single spins from ASCAP alone.
And then on the album, you receive how much on sales and whatever it did?
Well, first of all, I got paid before the album was even done.
Right, you got an advance.
And then also I still get record royalties that are happening, and because I own all the copyrights of the whole album.
Right.
So that's a lot of albums to own 100% of. And then you'd also got to just look at all my other catalogs. So any other hit that you've ever heard.
So basically, you have $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. When he offered it up, I assumed that he probably had it.
I was like, listen, I don't know what everybody's money's got, but you look at some people who have bigger hits, and when you don't understand publishing, like myself, I don't quite understand it all the time. People with bigger hits have less money, and some people who don't have as many have more. So you just
it just comes down to how people spend their money. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of, when you actually look at the gross. Let's just say I just came off of a tour in Europe, 30 cities. 1,000 people in every city, 30,000 tickets, €40 a ticket. That's $1.2 million gross, and it doesn't cost me too much to mount the tour. So you could do the math. I mean, it's all simple math. It's about how you spend it. So if you're not spending it frivolously on like grills and gold chains,
but you are.
Yeah, no, just
wait,
yeah, but I mean, also if you're investing. So I'm heavy in the tech space. I'm an advisor. When you're an advisor, you get advisory shares. So I mean,
what do you mean you're an advisor? Talk about that.
On which project?
So I'm an advisor currently. I have my own technology ventures, and then I'm an advisor on a ticketing platform and an advisor on a social kind of customer service platform. It's called Monospace, and the ticketing platform is called Ticket Labs. And so basically what it does is, right now I'm in a data game. That's all I'm really interested in. So my last album, a lot of reason why people don't know about it is because it's not on iTunes, it's not on Amazon. But the difference is between me and everybody else who sells records is I actually know every single person, first name, last name, address, email address, phone number, who actually legally got my album. I know everyone.
And you can have a
personally.
relationship with them, so not only can you sell them an album, you can sell them a ticket, you can sell them a T-shirt, you can go meet them, you can have a deeper relationship.
Yeah, I know the name of my number one fan. I know he lives in Ireland. I know in the last 7 months he's given me $877. That's how detailed it goes down to, and that's why.
How could he give you that much money? What is he even
He's
buying?
a fan.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
are you buying multiple copies of the CD?
He could buy multiple copies of the CD. He could buy VIP experiences. He could buy meet and greets. Last year I did a New Year's Eve party in a castle in Vienna, so he bought a couple tickets to that. I mean, like, I really understand the math of the music industry, and I'm trying to actually show other artists like Talib. He followed my process, changed his life. Fifth is on my platform, so this is where I think the future is. I want to know everybody.
So let's jump forward in this conversation, because that's one of the reasons you're here.
Yeah.
Is you basically do not place your content, whatever it is, on any of the popular platforms.
I place content on YouTube, but let's have a math.
But you can
conversation.
monetize your YouTube.
Yeah. So the math conversation on YouTube is I get about $1 for every 1,000 streams. So if I get 500,000 streams, YouTube would send me a check for $500, right? But if I could convince 500 people to give me $10 to stream a movie, which I've been able to do, that's $5,000 on 500 streams versus $500 on 500,000 streams.
That's right.
So that's what I'm interested in doing. We turn the industry upside
That math
down.
was pretty basic. I gotta be
Yeah.
honest. When you hear it like that, it's like, because getting 500,000, you still don't understand.
I got
it.
lost.
Well, Ebro, what he's trying to say.
No,
is,
I understood it. It's just the actual number. Remember in algebra they'd be like, show your work.
Yeah, no, you couldn't
like,
show
I
your
get
work.
the idea. They couldn't show.
You couldn't show your work.
Yeah,
No, I
problem.
understand that. So, but yeah, you're talking about, because getting millions of views. So I've done my share of YouTube views.
Yeah.
And yeah, the checks are rather meager until, unless you're someone like, for example, Nicki Minaj's Anaconda checks, those add up. That's 130 million views. But
It's
for
still
the
light.
I'm more light for what it could be.
Yeah.
Because people would have paid for that.
But his point is, if you can convert 1% of those views into
Paid views.
paying for something else, now you're talking about real money, which is really what is the game.
Yeah, that's it, but it's not the game. Is really just life for me. You know what I mean? So for anybody
Well,
else,
the game for you. This is your business now.
yeah, but it's not a game.
I don't think it means it's literally a game.
Ryan,
Come on,
would you settle down, Dave? This is Harvard guy. These Ivy
Yeah, it
League
doesn't mean it's a
dudes,
game. It's
not
serious.
a fucking game.
It's
son.
not a game.
I pay my bills, God.
It's real. It's real. And so the real game is actually, how do I actually help everybody else? So I don't mean to be a statistician up here, but 800,000 albums were released last year. Only 3% sold more than 1,000 copies. Right. So 97% of people that are putting out albums, they're not making any money. But I know how to get them to the money.
So now, while you're sitting here on our platform, are you reaching out? Is this a way for you to reach out to these people and get on whatever platform this is you're talking about?
Yeah, it's actually not even a platform. So basically what I do is I have literally a personal relationship. If somebody, whoever's listening right now, if you want to put Ryan Leslie's contact information in your phone book, 915-600-6978.
Okay.
That's it. Very simple.
And then they would reach out to you. Let's say an artist out there right now, he's done his thing. He has some videos that have 20,000 hits on YouTube, some SoundCloud with 15,000 listens. He wants to take it to the next level. He texts you, and what happens?
He could text me, and first of all, my system would check if he ever bought my album. So we don't have much further of a conversation if he has at least supported the album first. But what we know how to do is I can take somebody that has 400 Twitter followers and turn them into somebody that makes $60,000 a year.
How?
It comes down to math again. So let's just say somebody has, and this is a real case study.
How, Les? How?
400 Twitter followers, 150 Instagram followers, 150.
It ain't
YouTube
Ralph,
subscribers.
though. It ain't Ralph.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm playing.
So basically, if I could get somebody who's localized and who could run a campaign to actually say, look, I'm doing a fundraising concert for my first album. I gave you 2 mixtapes, but I never made no money off of it. And he could sell 375 tickets at $50. That's $16,750 if he pays $2,000 to the venue, right? So
How is he going to sell? Because moving 375 tickets at $50 is that's not a small task.
yeah, so I'll show you how it's done, right? So
I'll show you how to do this, son.
yeah, I'll show you how it's done. It's done by conversions, right? Real conversions. So the way that this works is it probably will take him 6 weeks to do it. And the case in point, we had an intern who did it this summer. He went and asked his mom first. So first he was selling tickets for $10. Then I said, no, why don't you go ask your mom if it was a fundraising concert, how much she would give you? And he said, my mom told me $50 a ticket. So I said, okay, ask her what she get 4 of them for. And she said, yeah. So he took that $200. He went to Office Depot, bought an actual printer, and he reached out to everybody in his social network directly. Because it's actually possible when you have tiny numbers like that.
Right, to direct.
Yes, and he said, look, even if you can't make it to the concert, still give me $50 because it's a fundraiser for my album. So he probably didn't have 375 people in there, but he had a small enough network of people who actually cared about him and his career, which is a lot of people. 375 is a lot of people when you got such a small following.
Right.
But he was able to do it, and every time someone bought it, he actually printed off a ticket, mailed it, did that little thing. But that's the beauty of what I think. That's the beauty of where I think the music industry is going if you actually can cultivate your fan base the right way.
Now, I will say that what you're talking about, it's not a new concept,
Yeah,
right?
it's not.
It's not new at all, but it does take work that a lot of people would rather go get a record deal, somebody give them a fat check and then tell them what to do.
Yeah.
What you're talking about doing, though, is actual work, though. Goes
Yeah, it's
beyond
work.
just recording an album, getting high, and fucking bitches in the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah, yeah.
It actually
Talk about it. That's fun.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, but,
right? So,
we do all that too. So basically, here's the reason why I set that up is because anyone who speaks to me, right? All my fans actually, they always say, "Well, Ryan, I watch your YouTube videos of you like producing everything. How come you're not way bigger?" Right? And what I realized is that music is not a meritocracy, right? The people who are the most talented singers.
Excuse me.
He doesn't know what a meritocracy means. And when I say he, I mean all of us.
Yeah. So.
And I mean all of you.
Yeah, just because you're really talented doesn't mean you make the most money.
That's right.
So it's not even
Best basketball player in the NBA. Best football players not in the NFL.
Terrible examples. The best basketball players in the NBA and the best football players in the NFL.
Some people would disagree.
Yeah,
They'd be wrong. And they're currently shooting hoops on West 4th right now.
The best tennis player
They're the
just
best.
won, right?
Yeah, well, we're close to it. Yeah.
Okay.
He beat the best. Anyways,
Okay.
but in music it is different.
Yes, it's different. And so for me, I wanted to set something up where I actually get out of the system what I put in. So if I actually work harder than everybody else, I make way more money. That's what I'm interested in doing. So for artists that have the right hustle and work ethic, those are artists I'm looking for. I'm signing artists. I'm signing producers.
Now, but the thing is, this is a tough conversation that I have with a lot of people about music.
Yeah.
Because this just happened last week in my conversation with Joey Badass, right? Where Joey was frustrated about records getting played. I told him that he has a song that I really like, but it sounds like a B-side. A bunch of people came at me like, why are you determining and telling that a song shouldn't be on the radio? But the bottom line is you have a lot of people who work hard and make music that may have some good traits, but ultimately isn't successful commercially for a reason.
Doesn't fit the system.
But not just doesn't fit the system.
I think I agree with Ebro.
But sometimes the system. Sometimes, and I had this argument yesterday.
Best basketball players in the NBA.
No, you just said that. You were wrong the first time.
No, because they didn't fit the system.
No, because they're. But here's the thing: there's a certain, or they don't play the game correctly.
The politics, they don't fit the system.
It's not
Best
politics,
basketball players
though.
in the NBA, man.
But here's the thing, man. There's a reason. There's a reason that Fish doesn't have songs on the radio, and they're a weird. What's it called?
Punk band.
Not punk at all. What's it called when you just randomly play with no chorus and you just play forever? Jam band.
There you go.
So they're a very popular jam band, right? And they have huge following, but they don't have songs on the radio.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have a fucking chorus in their song, and that's not just the system.
Well, it doesn't fit the format.
But
The
but the
system,
average human being enjoys a chorus. That is just who we
But
are.
that is a system.
It may be that we were programmed,
But that's a system.
Yeah. And
I just feel like that's a cop out to say system.
No, the cop out is when an artist comes along and says, "Hey, I would like to be in this system," but you don't want to do what the things that system does, but you want to be on that system, but you want to blame that system for not supporting you, but you're not doing what it takes to be in that system.
Maybe that's
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're right. That is one way
The
of
best
looking
basketball
at it.
players in the NBA.
No, you
man.
keep saying that, but I also just think sometimes, and Ryan, I'm curious for your feedback, but sometimes you're going to meet people, and yes, it may be like, well, I'm just too different. I don't fit into a genre. That's very true. I don't know where to. But sometimes they're just not very good, and no matter how hard you work,
Good
they're still not very
according
good.
to who?
People who
The
like
best
music.
basketball players ain't in the NBA, man. I keep telling you that, man.
Yo, I know guys, every time they shoot, yeah, it goes over the backboard, but why ain't they in the league?
But did you see that crossover though?
What? So what do you do about someone like that? If they come to you and they say, here's my plan, I have fans, but you hear the music and it's traca.
If they have fans, that's all that matters.
As long as they have actual people who...
If you have somebody that's willing to give you $100 for your music,
Yeah,
like,
but
it
Ryan,
doesn't matter.
listen, you're
people-
still talking about work.
Yeah.
There's work involved. And I like what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
but
work.
what if people are willing to do that work? They're
Right,
just
but
not that good.
No. There are people who aren't that good, and they're willing to do a whole bunch of fucking work. And people come up, yo, why so and so on the radio? I got more bars than them. Yo, but that person came to the studio every night on time, stayed extra time. So when that one song came available, they got a verse on that one song. That one song got popping in the club that got them popping because they was willing to be there every single night on time doing the smallest little detail. What you hear Ryan Leslie talking about is the smallest little details to create deep relationships with some dude in Ireland that spent $887 over the course of whatever period of time that Ryan Leslie's going to make sure he keeps going back to that dude, because if he'll spend $887, he'll probably spend another 50 on something, no problem. And if you find another 1,000 people, 10,000 people just like him,
just do the math. If you find 1,000 people like that, that's $887,000.
I mean, interview over. Ryan Leslie, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out.
It makes sense.
But you know, I'm being a dickhead about it, but people don't want to do work.
Yeah. So the other thing is that I understand that. So if you don't really want to do work, then you can come. You could come and my staff will help you do the work.
And for a percentage.
And for a percentage, we actually earn what we actually earn our percentage. You know what I mean?
Right. So there are different deals you can work out with someone.
Yeah, there's different deals. Sometimes you need money. People need money. They need money plus work. Sometimes people want to just do what Ebro said and just smoke weed and make records in the studio. If that's all you want to do, and you need money, I would rather.
How much
take
does
care
your
of
money
them.
cost? What's your percentage rate? Talk to me. What's your APR? What
Hey man, it's negotiable. It's negotiable. If it's just services, we do it for 20%, which is actually still better than iTunes, right? iTunes
wants 30, right?
Yeah, iTunes wants 30,
and they're not going to promote you and do none of that.
And they don't even tell you who bought your album. That's what I'm saying. If I'm an artist, I sold 5,000 albums on iTunes. Guess what? I want to know the 5,000 people who actually paid for music, which they could have just found for free, right? So that means if they paid for it, they definitely trying to support me. I don't have any of that information from iTunes, so that's why I'd rather just sell it direct.
Who am I calling? Who am I emailing? Like, who does it have a name? Is it Ryan Leslie LLC? Like, what is it?
It's Disruptive Multimedia. So
Disruptive
Multimedia.
Okay.
But just call me. I'm gonna get the number.
What's that number again?
915-600-6978.
But you said I had to buy your album before you even pick up my call.
I'm just saying the people that bought my album, those are the people. Of course, they got priority.
If you've already supported, support back.
This guy's kind of a thug. If you think
he's
about
kind of he's Harvard thug.
This is kind of mafia.
He's
You
not
gotta
telling
buy
you
his
to buy the
album.
album.
Then you call him. His call, the number you call already knows whether or not you bought the album.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna take 20%. Maybe that's negotiable, which means it might be more.
Right. If you want money, you need 100 racks. That costs money. You don't get 100 racks from a bank for free.
What kind of return you want on your 100?
This is like venture capital world. Only 1 in 10 is gonna blow. So I'm
So you high percentage then?
Yeah, I'm high
because you're high risk.
Yeah, I'm high risk.
Because you know a lot of people aren't going to be able to return. Potentially won't be
Look,
able to
man,
return.
I just play dumb. I
It's
just want to see what's happening.
It's 1 in 10 is gonna go if you're lucky. It might be only 1 in 100. So
I just wanted to get all the information I could.
Yeah.
So real quick, musically, what should we be looking for in the?
Musically, you know, I could look you up right now to see if you got.
Well, don't look it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I'm
So,
about to,
yeah.
But I see now. Here's my problem.
Okay.
I'm old.
All right.
And so iPhone best suits me because I'm an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Samsung's too hard. And shout to Samsung, I like your phone.
Yeah.
But it's complicated. So
Ebro has a new hashtag, too dumb for Samsung.
Yeah. The real. So now how would I get your music into my phone?
You just download it the same way you would like off of Amazon or
but I gotta go to Amazon though.
No, you get it directly from me. So it's almost if I just email you a link and you get your music. So if someone emails you an MP3, you just add it to your iTunes and play it on your phone. That's how it works.
So you just go on your computer, go to your website.
Yeah.
Which is, what the website is?
mzrt.com.
I don't have a computer. I just got a phone.
Yeah, you can go on your phone to mzrt.com. Everything's mobile first for us.
Google Play, Beats Music, listen with free trial. Spotify, listen for free. Listen now, Ryan Leslie, Harvard College.
University, man.
Are you happy
Yeah.
for Cassie right now? Do you guys talk? You guys don't talk. That's all. You just know, like, hey, how you doing?
Nah, not really like that. I probably last spoke to her like 2 years ago. You know, she was putting a mixtape together. Or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I basically said, look, you know, if you really want to, I think people would be interested to actually seeing us working in the studio. So, you know, I would be willing to do it because people waiting for the studio series to come back, and I think the first guest should be you in the studio series. But then I never heard back from her after that.
So, hey, Cassie, people would be interested. Maybe that's a good plan.
Yeah. I mean, whoever's in. I mean,
Would
if she
you?
gets-
Would,
yeah, of
now,
course.
what would the deal be between Ryan Leslie and Cassie? Would you take
Well, if she bought the album,
if she bought the album? You pick up a call.
Nah, you know what? I think honestly, I think
laugh was so fake.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more. I mean, really, what we did with Cassie the first time was revolutionary. You know, she's probably the only example in the history of the internet who actually sold as many records as she had internet followers. So she sold 650,000 albums and had 650,000 MySpace friends. That's literally, I don't know if that's ever happened again. And I know I could do it again with her. I think she's at 1.6 million Instagram followers. I know I could do it again just because I've unlocked the code.
But the music was good too.
Yeah, but
It was
will
good
be.
content.
That's what I'm saying. If she comes back and we work together, the music will be good. But that's for Cassie. That's for anybody that wants to come make some.
Well, now
good
there's
music.
Tinashe, so there's gonna be a little bit of a problem because Tinashe's popping, and
She hops
kinda
right in the
is-
Cassie lane.
It's kind of
Yeah.
doing the Cassie thing with the dancing and the singing and
Yeah,
the,
but I think Cassie's doing something totally different. I think the fact that she's so followed. She has a cult following. It's a different reverence that happens. You go to Paris, you probably can't even stay in a hotel. This is different. It's
Oh,
a
like
different
she's
reverence.
like that.
It's a style icon type of thing.
yeah, she
that's
does have the
happening.
style
Sure,
thing
okay, I
and
respect
the
it.
Yeah.
Diddy situation, and there's a lot that makes her
Yeah,
respect it.
it's a different level of celebrity style. You know.
So with
following.
all of this in-depth data analysis that
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
and data manipulation and whatever it is called,
It's just analysis.
are people hiring you for this? Are labels coming to you? Or beyond just the indie acts? Are you
Yeah.
doing any consulting?
Yeah,
Because they need help out here.
Yeah, absolutely. We are, and you know, this interview is this is the billboard for it. I know what I'm doing.
So,
And-
before you walk out of here, I have a contract that you need to sign, where I'll be taking 20% of all revenues. Of what's the name of the company?
disruptive
Disruptive
multimedia.
Yes,
But-
Ebro is currently on the board of that. And
Yeah.
how many shares do I get for this interview?
Hey man, you know we could work it out. Let's talk about it after.
And I need a specific
Talk
answer
about
while
it!
I'm recording. Talk to me.
Yeah,
I
we-
see. I don't have a big law firm. My law firm is the people.
Okay.
So once you say it on this mic, talk to me.
Yeah.
What percentage you want to get, Ebro?
Yeah.
I mean, let me hear what his options.
No, I'm saying I mean, this could be real. This could be legendary. You want to be an advisor?
I mean, you giving me fluff talk. I need numbers, man.
How can he throw you a number right now? That's not even reasonable. What did you?
This is business, not reason.
hey,
What are
look,
you talking
I mean, this is real talk. I can give you I can give you 0.25% for an advisory position.
0.25%.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and that's on air.
That's said on air.
That's on air. That's real.
How many conference calls I got to be on?
How much time does this require?
Yeah.
Because remember earlier when you was talking about people who just want to sit around and smoke weed? That's me. He was talking about himself.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ryan, you spent a lot of time touring in Europe.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Black Mozart documentary.
Yeah, so the Black Mozart documentary was a record that I made in 6 days, and I filmed the making of the record in 6 days, and then we sold 30,000 tickets behind it. No label, no manager, no PR, no music videos, just a documentary, great music. And yeah, so that's all it is. It's just you want to see how I made that album in 6 days. Not only did I make the album in those 6 days, but I also took some kids who had never been outside of the country to Europe for the first time, and I also directed the documentary and edited it myself within those 6 days.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
hot. Where can you see that? Is that all through your website also? Is
That's
that
on YouTube. That's
That is on YouTube. All right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Now
That's
we're
on
gonna
YouTube.
we're gonna have a full disclosure convo real quick.
Okay.
This interview was damn good.
I appreciate it. We didn't talk about music though, and that's. I mean, that's.
Do you have music that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have. I have a new record. It's called MZRT,
And what does that mean?
the Magnificently Zealous Renegade Takeover.
But it's also Mozart.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
So Black
Kind of like the
Mozart.
Revolution.
Yeah, mzrt.com. That's where you can go to get it. I'm gonna do a video just because I feel like people, even though I didn't do videos last time, I feel like people missed the videos. They missed the studio.
No, the
videos.
visual is important.
Yeah.
It's important.
So I'm gonna do a video every month. We have a new video I just shot in the south of France for a record called New, produced by Wonder Girl. That's a mentee of mine.
So we're gonna get that song on right now.
Okay, let's do it.
mzrt.com is where you can go pick up this song. Right.
Yes.
And this will be off of the Black Mozart.
Black Mozart album's available now. MZRT is available for pre-order, and I'm gonna let you know if you want to pre-order, you can actually watch the making of the album. So that's what we're gonna do every month. You could be able to see more.
So we'll get that on now. Now, Rosenberg and Laura Styles. Did you expect this interview to be this fucking interesting?
No.
I mean, I knew Arla's a pretty smart dude.
When we were talking, we were like, what's happening?
I was really like,
with
what's
Ryan
going
Leslie?
on with this dude?
And we're just being honest. We're like,
Yeah.
laptop?
We didn't know. I didn't know
And
you had such a
the
big
reason
plan.
I'm pointing that out in this interview is because there are oftentimes you go into an interview and people just want salacious headlines. Is he still having sex with Cassie? Is he mad at Diddy? Did he punch the guy in the face that had the laptop?
Yeah, I kind of got over all that stuff once I realized, if you focus on the right things, you can actually focus on.
But this interview was,
Yeah.
I think, an educational piece for a lot of young people trying to figure out how to monetize their creativity.
That's not always the most engaging content, but for whoever, that's actually will probably make me a lot more money than anybody else who's ever sat here and done an interview.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I think though, so many people who watch our stuff are people in the music business.
Yeah.
And you made the stuff you were talking about make sense. It wasn't very difficult to
Oh, now
grasp.
you're going to start kissing his ass? Like, he's not going to give you 0.25%.
Well, I was going to say, and also following up, if Ebra's getting 0.25, I mean, it's Ebro in the morning with Laura Styles. So I've been here.
Yo, Ryan Leslie, thank you, bro.
Yo,
Thanks,
thank
bro.
you.
Good luck, man. MZRT.
Yeah, and if you need anything else, just tack on another 0.25% on.
Yeah, we do.